everybody, and welcome to another segment of AstrologyAnswers.com's weekly forecast. My name is Terrence Gardino. The week begins on Monday, December the 28th. This is a big week. We're having a full moon. It's going to be New Year's Eve. But let's start with Monday. The moon, which always sets the general emotional tone of the public, is in Gemini. Gemini is that wonderful sign. It's witty, it's clever, but mainly it wants to talk and engage in lots of ideas. But since we're going into this important holiday coming up here, there could be a lot of running around, doing errands, keeping you mentally very active, but especially with connecting with friends and loved ones. Best with Gemini, do it by Skype, do it by Zoom, and remember to keep socially distanced and keep you and everyone safe. But then on Tuesday, the 29th, the moon goes into emotional Cancer, and it's going to immediately trigger the full moon. Now, there's a full moon every month. Every month it's in a different sign. This time of the year, it's always in Cancer. Cancer is about home and family, so this can be a very traditional time to have parties at your home, celebrating with families. But a moon in Cancer can be very emotional and very moody. And so as we're in these high holidays, going to New Year's, and the full moon is in Cancer, emotions can run really high. And in general, full moons will test relationships. Strong ones always get better. The weak ones may show where you need to work on it. And the love planet Venus, Tuesday into Wednesday, will be in tension or conflict with nebulous Neptune. Venus-Neptune can trigger disappointments, uncertainty, or a lot of misunderstandings. And you mix the Venus-Neptune with the full moon in emotional Cancer, and relationships, especially with family, could be very anxiety-filled. So it's best to breathe, don't react without thinking first. By Wednesday, the moon, by early morning, 8 a.m., 10 a.m. Pacific time, will be in a stressful angle to communication Mercury, and that Venus-Neptune is still strong. So as you go into the first part of Wednesday, there could continue to be more hurt feelings, misunderstandings, and the moon is full for a couple of days. But later in the afternoon, like all through mid-afternoon Pacific time, the moon will be in harmony with Neptune. And the moon Neptune starts to awaken more understanding, more empathy, more sensitivity. So that can start to help heal and reconcile any relationships that got, off track for a day or two. Thursday, it is New Year's Eve. It is December 31st. And the moon is entering Leo, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Leo is romantic and festive and extroverted. Leo rules children, rules romance. So this is a perfect emotional tone, the moon in Leo, for New Year's Eve. And it'll be there for 2.5 days. Now, in the early part of the day, the moon will be in difficult angle to Saturn, more around 2 to 4 Pacific Standard Time. Could be some worrying or feelings, or just feeling like you're not connecting, or this can be a lonely time for a lot of people. But then right after it, by late afternoon, early evening, Pacific Standard Time, the moon is going to be enhanced by optimistic, expansive Jupiter. And since it's beginning to peak around 4 p.m. on the west coast of the United States, it's midnight in the UK. And so even as you go into Europe, which is even an hour later, that moon you start feeling it, an hour or two earlier. So that is going to be very festive. But on the west coast of the United States, the progressed moon will be in dynamic aspect to Uranus. Now that's around from about 11 p.m. to about 1:30 or so p.m. on the Pacific Standard Time. And moon to Uranus can bring all this emotional excitement, and the moon is in Leo, and how wonderful and perfect for celebrating this, saying goodbye to one of the worst years that we can all remember. And so there's going to be a lot of shaking things up, getting excited, getting hopeful. As we go into the new year, Friday, January the 1st, the moon continues in Leo. There's still this hangovers of celebrating, wanting to do more connecting. But communication Mercury is going to be in harmony with Neptune. Mercury-Neptune is what is on your mind, how you're expressing yourself. Neptune is empathy, compassion, charity. This is a day that you can inspire with your words others, or others could inspire you. So this is a beautiful way to start the new year. Saturday, January the 2nd, the moon continues in Leo, and it's going to be favorable with assertive Mars. So there's going to be a lot of activity, socializing, getting a lot of work tasks done. But around just after 5 p.m., 5:13 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, the moon leaves outgoing, partying Leo and goes into more sensible, practical, work-oriented Virgo. And I think for a lot of the world, that's the energy you're going to be picking up on Sunday morning, because the next day is going to be the first official work day of the new year. And always it's a long holiday season, and this is from Saturday night through Sunday. It's ideal with the moon in Virgo to start getting your list of projects you need to check, get prepared for, start to organize. And especially on Sunday and towards the later part of the day, the moon will be in harmony with the Capricorn Sun. They're both earth signs, being grounded, feeling stabilized, and ready to launch into the new work week of the new year. Before I sign off, I want to remind you I'm available for a one-question offer for a nominal fee. To order it, just go to the homepage, astrologyanswers.com. Look for the tab at the top of the page. It says Advisors. Click on that. Scroll down until you find me. And the time of birth is always really important. So I want to thank you for tuning in. I hope to see you next week with my next segment. Until then, Happy New Year.